Hi everyone, welcome to the CACFP Enrollment Form IES instructional webinar. In this lesson, you'll learn how to help a parent complete the CACFP Enrollment IES form with all necessary information. You'll also be able to determine if a child is free, reduced, or paid. Children that are private and OSSI subsidy need the form filled out. Early Head Start children do not need the form filled out. To determine the child's enrollment category, continue to Who Needs an IES Form webinar afterwards. The IES is pre-filled as much as possible, and sections that are required are highlighted for your convenience. Part 1, Enrollment Information. You want to ensure that the center name, child's name, date of birth, before and after care, and center hours is filled out. The days of operation and the meals are pre-filled. All income eligibility information must be selected if any apply to the parent, and follow the required next part to complete. So for example, we have a member of the household receives SNAP selected, and then it instructs to either complete part 2 and then part 6. Part 2, household members receiving SNAP and/or TANF benefits. If the parent receives SNAP or TANF and indicated it above, they must put a case number. If they do not know their case numbers, they must list their income in Part 5, which we'll go over in the next section. Part 3, children enrolled in Head Start. If the child is enrolled in Head Start, it will not qualify them to be free because they are private or OSSI, and they must complete either Part 2, 4, or 5. Part 4, foster children. If any child in the household is a foster child, please indicate it in this section, Part 4. However, Part 5 must still be filled out if there are other members in the household. Part 5, total household income. All members in the household must be listed. If they are children or adults that do not make money, put $0. All income must be listed here. Income also includes child support, retirement, or a secondary job. As an example here, we have 2 children listed, and of course they don't have an income. And we have an adult listed here. Their income is listed, the frequency is included, as well as alimony or child support or welfare, and the frequency. The next section, Part 6, certification, signature, and social security number. So the parent must complete their personal information, including their name, the last 4 of their social security number, if they did not include their SNAP or TANF case numbers, their address, and their phone number. They must also include the date and their signature. Part 7, Civil Rights Information, Enrolled Children's Ethnicity and Race. The ethnicity and race must be filled out. If the parent does not choose to do so, we must select based off observation on Child Plus. Please let the nutritionist know if this occurs and specify on the form that the parent did not want to give the information. And again, we would still have to make the observation on Child Plus and select a race and ethnicity. Part 8 is the Civil Rights Statement. It's basically saying that under no circumstances do we discriminate. However, there are instructions to file a civil rights complaint if anything are to happen. There are instructions for doing it online, at a USDA office, or by calling, and then there's also an email listed. Part 9, Privacy Act Statement. The statement basically states why we're collecting the information and what it's going to be used for. And our sole purpose is to determine eligibility. Part 10, Center Use Only, IES Classification. This is for select centers. Some centers will be making eligibility classifications. So what this section is used for is to determine if a child is free, reduced price, paid, using the income eligibility guidelines. The income eligibility guidelines are listed down below. We have free meals here, and then we have reduced priced meals. And we would use the household size and then the monthly income to determine if the child is free first. And then if not eligible for free meals, we would look at reduced priced meals. So we use this if using income for eligibility determination. We would list the total monthly income using the calculations listed under total household income. Using the income eligibility guidelines against the number of household members and monthly income, we would determine if the child is free using the free meals column. If the child does not qualify for free meals, you look at reduced price meals column. And if they do not qualify for reduced price meals, they would be considered paid. Part 11, so let's see an example below if SNAP number was not given. So we have an income of $800 per month total for a family of 3. They would be considered free because we look at the income eligibility guidelines. And for a house of 3, we look at the monthly income and they fall below that. If they were over this amount, we would have to look at this column to see if they qualify. And if they're under this amount, then they would be considered reduced price. If they were over this amount, we would list them as paid. So again, this is only completed for select centers that are doing this process of making eligibility determination. So this would be selected if they are a foster child. They would automatically be free. And that's if they don't have another child in the household. Because remember, if they have another child in the household, they have to report income. Only the child that is a foster child is considered free. This section is for making the determination. So they're free if they get TANF, SNAP, and included their SNAP numbers. Otherwise, we have to report the income, and then we would have to list it here based off of the calculations I mentioned above to determine the monthly income. And then we would use the monthly income with the number of household members, and we would use it with the income eligibility guidelines to make the determination. Please send all IES forms to me by scanning them. Thank you.